All right. Thanks for listening to this episode of Two Using a Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, unfortunately, Chris Romero he's a new father and he's got work stuff. So I'm going to be riding solo on this episode today. My name is Charley. I'm sure you know me if you listen to this episode. If not, it's very nice to meet you. But I'm on a blind date tonight with two, and I'm out. It's a handicap match. I'm outnumbered. But if you know us at Two Using a Face, you know that we don't do a lot of super cold interviews, but somehow I feel like this one's still going to work. And
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But I don't really know these two gentlemen I'm on the line with, and that's not a bad thing. So hopefully we get to learn a little bit more about each other. But with the quarantine happening, we've put out some stuff about Zella Pro. You're probably listening to this after we dropped our Warrior Wrestling Friday Night Lights Aftermath episode. But we're just going to switch it up a little bit. We're still going to talk wrestling, but we're just going to talk with not necessarily with a promoter or a wrestler, or some fans too, but fans that will be very new to the indie scene once wrestling starts back up. And I'm just going to let you guys introduce yourselves because I'm not sure where to start or what kind of in my mind, what kind of like box to put you in yet. Not that you need to be put in there, but
we'll find a box.
Okay.
We'll happily box ourselves in.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm Justin Borak.
I'm Ben Hertel.
And we're both comedians here in Chicago, but we're also the host of an upcoming podcast coming out in October called Wrestling History 101, where we break down every pay-per-view starting in 2010 from the WWE. We're going mainstream, baby.
Good and corporate.
Yeah, we sold out immediately.
Yeah,
Captain.
But we're both super new wrestling fans.
Okay.
Find the story, and also I know Ben has watched some indie stuff. I haven't watched like basically any indie stuff,
Okay.
and I just found this I started watching WWE during quarantine and just like fucking fell in love with like the insanity of it. So we decided to make up this podcast. I've been doing a podcast called This Is Gonna Work for like 4 or 5 months, so we decided to make another one. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and I know Justin again through comedy and improv and stuff. And yeah, I first came to like wrestling as sort of an infatuation around about like a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I went to my first AAW match at Logan Square Auditorium here in Chicago.
There you go.
And it blew me away. Yeah, my girlfriend had a roommate at the time who was really into it, and so she dragged me to one night, and I was blown away. It was just the coolest thing ever. Yeah. So much fun. I never really watched the WWE growing up. It was always sort of like a taboo in my family, I guess, in a way. Like they still let me watch violent movies and other stuff, but like for some reason wrestling was always sort of like we just don't want to engage with it, I guess. So it was something that was like really late in my blooming life, and I absolutely love it. Like it hits on all my love of, like, I also watch boxing and UFC and stuff too.
Cool.
But like all the performative nature of it absolutely blows me away. I love it so much. Yeah.
Well, I think the good news is you guys are hopefully on the least judgmental podcast and the wrestling podcast, hopefully in the world, for the least judgmental wrestling podcast, 100% in the Chicagoland area. I will vouch for that. So we at Two Using a Face, we built our podcast around the phrase that wrestling is a buffet. So it's not necessarily like we just choose to eat from certain parts of the buffet line, and that happens to be like AEW, Logan Square Auditorium, and things like that. It's not that we frown on other people who want to go to watch WWE and things like that. Like some of our older episodes were, and then we kind of fell into a niche of like really liking independence, but there's no judgment here on how new you are or what you've seen or what you haven't seen or anything like that. So I'm not going to like go all smarky smark on anyone. I promise.
No, yeah, and I for me at least, the enjoyment of the WWE was purely because of convenience. Vince McMahon's terrible abs did not draw me to the company. It was much more. They have a network it was much more. All of Raw is on Hulu, which is one of their like shows.
There's
So
just so much content to devour.
it's an
Like, it's
insane
the
amount of
perfect
content.
quarantine buddy.
Yeah, and they make it super easy to like find. So I started. So that's how I started, and I literally like I started watching as a kid, and then immediately wasn't allowed because my dad is a state champion wrestler in Louisiana, like actual wrestler, and he watched me watch it one time, and it was like I was worshiping Satan in a Christian household. He was like, turn that garbage off, and he shut up, and I hadn't watched it until like a few months ago during quarantine. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to be a new indie fan when things open up again. AEW though, you guys keep saying. So Logan Square, when it was at Logan Square 2 years ago, was it like just an indie scene? Because like I'm enthralled in wrestling now, and I know AEW is like fighting WWE now. They're like on a big time network, right?
Sorry, so there's some confusion, and this is everyone gets it. So there's AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling. Then there's AAW.
Which is the
I am I'm the most mainstream person you've had on this podcast.
In some time, yeah.
WWF idiot.
No, but that's a common that people have been getting that confused since, you know.
Are they the biggest? Are they the biggest indie like company here in Chicago?
No, well,
I know Freelance. I know Freelance is a big one, right?
Yeah, I would say those two are biggest in terms of like draw the largest crowds. I think AAW was the largest for some time, and I think Freelance they're both like competing. This is in terms of largest crowds. So let me put that out there because I have friends from many promotions who listen to this podcast. Just in terms of largest crowds, and not necessarily in terms of quality or what you like. So I just want to make that clear. In terms of large, like people able to fill venues and arenas and sell out the Logan Square Auditorium.
How many promotions are there here in Chicago?
Oh my God. I don't even know the number. I don't even know the number. So it's
an insane amount.
It's an insane amount. Some don't even really promote that much, and that's like okay. But you can dig deep and deep and deep, and you'll find a ton of stuff. There's probably like a handful that Chris and I go to fairly regularly and talk about. So it's probably like 5 or 6. But it's an oversaturated market. Like anytime in the past couple of years where someone's like, I want to start a wrestling company in Chicago, it's been like considered a bold move because there's on a regular weekend outside of a pandemic, it's like every weekend there's a show. So
or have any of them tried to come back yet, or have all of them been shut down since the top?
Yeah, so Warrior Wrestling, which hopefully like when you're, because I'm assuming our episode will be pretty evergreen, so I don't know when we'll drop it, but when it does drop, you'll probably have listened to like the Warrior Wrestling Friday Night Lights Aftermath show. Mm-hmm. And so Warrior Wrestling is run by the principal of a high school named Steve, and he runs it at the high school for a charity fundraiser. And they have some money. They have some money to use to then raise more money. So they have a little bit better. This is an assumption, but they can have these like really mega shows. And they have like a lot of insane wrestlers fly in. So they just had one. It was on their football field, and everyone was spaced out, and everyone had masks. What's up? No. So Chris was there. I was at a lake house that weekend, but I probably would have went. And then, so it was like done really safely. And then a company called Zello Pro just ran at Joe's on Weed Street, and they ran like under 50 people also spaced out in the back room, which was a little bit tighter, but everyone had masks on and the precautions were in place. So I felt safe there. Yeah, but it's either outside or it's like, these are the rules and we're running like this really strict show kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's something coming up, you got to let me and Ben know, because we are breaking into the wrestling scene here in Chicago. We're doing it. We're starting at the top. We're starting in corporate, and we're going to the fun indie scene.
Okay. There will be, I would follow Warrior Wrestling on Twitter, and probably those two, Warrior Wrestling and Zello Pro, because I think they figured out at least a way to do it for right now. And I think they might run some more probably before we hit winter into fall. So before it gets too like, I don't know. Before it gets too cold for Warrior, they're going to want to do something. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah. Cool. Well, I think we laid some good groundwork for your guys' background. And then so your improv stuff. So I've always been interested by that scene and like a little bit of one of the best podcasts out there is Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah,
No.
I've heard about it before. I haven't listened to it, but I need to.
Okay, so they have a very strong improv background. These two individuals, and then they've worked so much with different companies and like creating content and like doing commentary and backstage stuff. So Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling is a great one, and that's why it interests me because you guys kind of have the same sort of background. So I guess I wanted to hear a little bit about that and how you guys have enjoyed that.
Yeah,
You know
so
how,
we
wait,
yeah,
you know
we've
how
been
I know
doing
Sarah Shock? Dude, Sarah Shockey. She's on
Yes.
what's the oldest team at IO?
Oh, Deep Schwa?
Yeah, she's on Deep Schwa.
Oh no shit.
She did she did one of our shows at Bughouse. Remember,
Oh,
she
right
almost
on.
did our set with us. Yeah, I remember because they did a live show at IO.
Okay.
Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. I know I heard of them somewhere. Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's dope. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I've always found like a big overlap between like the comedy and wrestling communities and stuff. Like a lot of comedians I know in the scene, like when I've mentioned like, yeah, I went to a wrestling match last night. They're like, oh yeah, who do you like? Like it's really cool. I think there is some mutual appreciation there of like just very goofy performance. Like it's
Yeah.
fun to like lean into a character, and especially to play like the bad guy for a night or whatever. Like yeah, it's sort of the same
Yeah.
egging on.
Oh,
of
yeah.
when you're, like know
Yeah.
that you're doing that in a comedy set or whatever. Yeah, so Justin and I have been doing comedy together for about
Like
a year and a half now.
maybe?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
a year effectively. Well, with this last half year being kind of absent.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're on a team called Liar. We met through the Second City Conservatory, and yeah, so we've been doing a lot of stuff like that together.
We did over 100 shows in our first year.
Wow.
We basically performed together for like a year, like every day for like a year straight.
Yeah, got sick
But I
of each
mean,
other.
the whole comedy
Right.
scene right now is on hiatus, and now there's been like 6
Yeah.
months. You know, you've seen some people move on to different things. You've seen people move to LA or New York because they're just kind of like where like a lot of people call Chicago like a comedy stepping stone. It's a big like learning environment,
Mhm.
Right.
but there's more like work out in LA and New York. So
Okay.
people have done that move, people have done that, and then some people have kind of stuck it out to see if some theaters are going to start to reopen again. A little more green improvisers and stuff. So, but I mean, like we've been, so I mean, that's all we've been doing is just doing podcast stuff for now.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
We both have been through some training centers. Now IO's gone, but IO and yeah,
Okay.
man, the comedy scene's weird, but yeah, that's where we met. Because we started Conservatory a year and a half ago, and then we started Liar a year ago. So about improv for about a year and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you say team, that's like your group that you would reach out to a place and be like, hey, we have these 5 or 6 people that.
Yeah, we were called Liar.
Okay.
We had, I think, probably 10 people on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 people.
Time,
You
yeah.
know, like I don't think anyone has an improv team anymore because so many people have left or moved on or doing different things. It's gonna be like weird when everything comes back. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like a community of friends that we had met through classes or otherwise, or friends through classes. And yeah, we had like a regular show at the Bug House every Tuesday. We got a show at the IO and stuff too every Monday night. So it was, we were doing pretty good before everything got ruined.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're gonna forget about it tonight.
Yep.
And,
thank God.
Yep.
All I think
Exactly.
about-
And wrestling.
Yeah.
Got wrestling now.
Ben, you mentioned leaning into a character. So this is a pretty generic question. It's a pretty broad question, but we like. So I didn't even introduce this, but what you guys are in right now is called the buffet line because wrestling is a buffet, right? There's a salad bar, the hot plate, the dessert. So we have a gimmick, if you will. Yeah, and we also like to call ourselves a positive cast. So the rule there is that if you can say something. You can say like a constructive criticism about something because Chris and I like go to shows and then talk about the shows, but we have all the people who like promote these shows or like produce these shows on our podcast too. So, and we want to, and a lot of wrestling podcasts are, I get a feeling your guys, when it releases, it'll be more lighthearted and goofy. We're trying to do that too, because a lot of wrestling podcasts are just like, what the fuck are these guys thinking? And it's
Super
just
negative.
they hate to watch it, but they watch it. Like I saw a tweet recently. It was like, why do guys hate all their hobbies? And I was just like, that's really good, actually.
It's so yeah. Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
I think our show is going to be a lot more like goofy and upbeat, like, because I think even if we go in on like, because we're starting in 2010, so this is before we like to say, because right now like the women wrestling bracket in the WWE is killer. It's really strong. They get a lot of equal time. When we start in 2010, like the women's division is lucky to get one match, and as of right now, it's a match with a guy pretending to be a girl in half of them. It's crazy. It's a really weird world to live in, is the 2010 WWE world. But almost at the end of every match, even if we're like making jokes about it, we're still in awe at the fact that we'll never be able to do even what the worst wrestler in WWE could do. They're doing these crazy things of like jumping off the top row and breaking through 3 tables. It's insane. But
it's just good fun.
Yeah. So so if you it's okay to be constructively critical, but then the rule is to follow it up with a positive. So like Chris and I will be like, we didn't like this part about the match, but so and so had new cool gear, or so and so So like that's what we try to do. To try to just not try to be negative Nancy's all the time. But Ben, what you're saying, the question is leaning into a character. So what are the aspects about wrestling that, we'll start with you, Ben, first, that you like? Like we always ask people, what do they love about wrestling? Some people just say everything, which is a really good response. But like, what are like the couple aspects where it's like, I could really sink my teeth into this?
I've always like, I come also from like a theater background too, before comedy even. So like for me, like all the fight choreography of it, where you can do something that's absolutely incredible. Like you're throwing somebody from the top rope, you're doing something that looks incredibly dangerous, and yet the audience still knows like, oh, everyone's okay, it's you're doing it. And then you get like the gigantic ring that's basically like a big bass drum that like people are flying onto. Like it sounds so real and painful and visceral, and yet you're able to know that like, oh no, they're being smart and they know how to like do this. This is incredibly well choreographed. I love that. It's again, like when we were talking before the call about like the whole idea of like, oh, people criticize it for being fake. It's like, yeah, of course it is, but it's like incredibly well done.
Yeah.
Like it's like really well manufactured. Like you have to respect that. So
that's true.
I love that. I also loved how diverse the community was, especially the first time I went to an in-person match. I was blown away. Like to me, like growing up and everything, it was always like very understood as like oh, this is just a white male thing to do, like white straight male thing. And then when I actually got into the arena and stuff and saw everybody, it was incredible, like how well represented everybody was, and like how everybody was so enthusiastic about it. That blew me away. It really surprised me, and of course it makes sense because there's something in there for everybody. So yeah. Cool. Those are my main 2 loves. And also you just get ridiculous things with the WWE network. So
yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of the same. See, like that's the nice thing about me and Ben is that we kind of came from the same background. Like I've been doing theater since I was a kid, and when I started watching it these past like 4 or 5 months, like, dude, the storylines feel almost Shakespearean. If like the way I describe it is wrestling is like Shakespeare plays. If like Romeo and Juliet was like 90% the fight between Romeo and Mercutio, and like just 10% of words. It's just like it's just like a really good play, but instead of a good written dialogue conflicting argument, they just like beat the shit out of each other. And I love it. I think it's so much fun. I love the outfits. I love watching like these like I love the build up, especially now because we watch pay-per-views for our show. What I learned watching, because I started watching Raw it was like Raw on Hulu, shout out Hulu, Raw from 2015 till now. like is all on Hulu. So I started watching it in
okay.
2015 and started watching those stories, and I wasn't watching any pay-per-views. And I got so into it, I got the WWE network, and I started watching these pay-per-views, and these pay-per-views just like, it's so good because before every match they put like a 6-minute montage together of the last 5 weeks of this storyline and like what's been going down. Like we're doing some episodes in the 2009s to start off our show, and we just watched one where there was like Edge and Vicky Guerrero were married, but then Big Show, but then like Big Show also like him and like Vicky Guerrero like hooked up, and then like John Cena tossed in there because it's John Cena. It's just like it's so
and then
good.
Big Show threw him into a spotlight.
It
was
crazy. It's like these really good stories are built up, and then instead of having like a beautiful scene and the movie, they just like throw someone through 3 tables. It's like so much
cliffhanger.
And that's the thing, is that after a pay-per-view, there's not really any cliffhangers because they start the new feud or they have more of this feud to do. But it always does with someone getting thrown through a table. There's always a winner and a loser. It's great. It's
just something about like my favorite things about like reality television, like the really trashy kind, and then like also with like actual, because again, like I love boxing, I love UFC and stuff. Like I love actual fighting and violence and everything too. You just get this perfect marriage between the two.
Oh,
it's so fun.
It really is Shakespeare, reality TV, and like really good fight choreography, and like all of that mixed. I feel like that's just the best combination. And not many people look at it that way. Yeah. It's just so good.
That was really well said. So I have one last question for the salad bar. I want to know, what is both of your favorite parts of an actual salad?
Oh God. Like croutons and
croutons.
Croutons is my answer. Croutons are very popular answer.
Okay, so we're all three on croutons. Good.
Yeah,
croutons.
Ugh.
I'll eat bags of those things myself. Like I'll eat those things like chips.
Oh, yeah.
I love croutons.
Oh, you actually know what I've been getting really into, and this sucks, is like fully not cooked spinach. Just like leaves of spinach. I eat it instead of chips because in my head it's like if I eat a bag of this once a week, I'll get abs. So like
just
I guess
raw spinach?
Just raw spinach. It's also cheap.
Washed spinach though, right?
No. No, you
don't wash it
straight. No, I open a bag at Target, grab a handful, and then eat it on my way home.
It's so dangerous.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not doing well in the pandemic. No, probably croutons and like Thousand Island dressing to dip it in, or just like
croutons. 1000%. Yeah, ranch croutons.
Yeah, Chris would be cringy right now if he was here, but I know that every time I get excited every time someone says the answer, so I'm glad we're getting along. That's great.
God, this blind date is going pretty well.
It really is. It's going good.
We're not at the entree yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah, so that's coming. So I figured we would do maybe like a little friendly competition. So one of you guys will probably hate me by the end of the night, but
good.
Ready for this?
Or maybe we should. Or should, what do you guys want to do that for the trivia only, or do you want to do it for the main course? How do you guys feel about that?
Let's do it for both, just to see like who you think is funnier.
Yeah. If you want to rate, I feel like me, because the middle one is actually what me and Ben are supposed to be good at. We're supposed to be able to be funny. The end when we do trivia, if we both get zeros, at least that'll be fine.
We're
but this one
dog shit at the trivia.
Okay, that makes sense.
Me and Ben have been talking shit all day about the trivia, just talking about how like I'm gonna have at least. I bet you I get a point.
Dumpster Justin on this easy.
I'll pick out the easy ones. But first is the main course. So yeah, I'm gonna award the points on which answer I think is funnier.
Okay,
or maybe just like hits a certain part of wrestling that I like, which you guys don't. So you guys will figure that out. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I don't know what you want to call these prompts, or just like I don't know what the comedic term is, but they're just like questions here, and you're each gonna give one. So out of the wrestling that you watched, let's start with Justin. Your favorite wrestling like persona or gimmick out of the things that you watched, and why?
Yeah. Okay. So this is crazy. So I've learned, because I've only watched WWE. Really excited to jump into the indie scene, but and me and Ben haven't come across this guy, but this is one of the guys I watched for the like 3 episodes I watched before my dad shattered the TV. there was a guy, I know his debut was in 2005, named the Boogeyman. Have you ever heard of?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
so first off, I love wrestlers that have supernatural abilities, but they're not like overpowering. Like Undertaker can have his comeback by just popping up, and Kane can like blow fire out of the ring. The Boogeyman is and bet the Boogeyman is weird as fuck. So
Yes.
his location when he comes in is the Boogeyman from the bottomless pit.
That's where he's billed from. Yes.
Yeah, that's where he's from. And every time he comes in wearing a Flava Flav clock, and he breaks it on his head before he gets to the ring, which is just insane. And then ready? This is the superpower he has. After he wins a match, so not even during. After he wins the match, he pulls worms out of nowhere, puts them into his mouth, and then drops it onto the loser's face. And it's perfect. It's perfect because it doesn't make him a good wrestler. He's not a very good wrestler. I think he maybe was an intercontinental.
The gross out artist, yeah.
He's just crazy. He's just a crazy guy that they bill as like somehow supernatural. But he's just a guy who has worms in his backpack and breaks a clock on his head. And it's absolutely insane. And
that's a very strong one.
Right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the Boogeyman best moments and you'll be the happiest you've ever been and maybe a little scared.
Yeah. He had a really legendary feud with Booker T.
Yes, he did.
And that's a very strong answer. And I can see like worms and fitting in with like the demon flair he had going on, but I don't understand the clock. I don't know if
it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why the clock is in there, but
he hits it on his head and he like kind of spazzes out and does this weird dance down the ramp. And in my head, I'm like, just do the dance. He comes out of like a big explosion of fire.
Right.
He doesn't need the clock is like it's like weird. It's like the guy who plays the Boogeyman was also like a Flava Flav fan, and was like Vince won't notice this. There's no way he's gonna notice. I'm gonna toss in a tiny little
Easter egg for you.
Yeah. And then he goes out there, boom, and breaks it over his head.
He probably did it without Vince's permission, and then Vince loved it. And then
I bet.
We're doing that every time.
Terminated his contract.
All right, Ben, what is yours? That's a strong.
I can't follow that because
beat that.
upon learning that's the best thing ever. Honestly, and it also sucks because Justin, you spoiled my joke. Mine is Santina Morales.
Okay.
The beautiful artist, well before the time of like the Danish Girl or any movies that as part of the trans community. Really, really passionate work, I think, overall from Santina, especially the backstage scenes. Very good conviction, very good enunciation. She delivers her lines very well. In the ring, ultimately, I feel it's swung in her favor, so I will accept that as criticism, especially the first match of which she ascended to the crown.
Hey, wait, Ben. Really quick, just one question.
Mm-hmm.
So Santina is your favorite wrestling persona?
Yep.
How do you feel about her twin brother, Santino?
Santino is great too. That's why I love them both.
They're both your number one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, Santina, because she does the fighting. Santino, because of his support from the ring side.
Okay,
I think that is
those
my
two
favorite thing about
separate people
Santino.
are both your favorite people.
Just charming personality. Santina, especially it traditionally like a pretty easy first match to ascend to the championship. You saw her dancing on the ring, looking alarmed that she was even in a wrestling match. I think that was pretty cool. Never attacked. So I think that shows just a lot of respect in the community, and I like that. And then again, I will reference back to the scene work behind stage. The scene work from Santina is very good.
And her romantic partner, the great Charley, of course.
I am remiss to forget. Yeah,
they can get
great Charley,
steamy.
who is the most terrifying man I have ever seen in this world.
No, wait, because he might break a clock over his head and become the most terrifying man in the world. Oh, God.
Bravo, gentlemen. So I realizing like my first two bullet points could be wrapped up together because your favorite could also be the most insane. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna cop out, and I'm gonna each award you both 1 point for that first one. It was a nice starter. I think Ben worked really hard there on trying to counter the strong start of the boogeyman. And
If we're skipping the insane wrestling Persona one, then I just want to really quick shout out my boy Hornswoggle, the
Okay.
leprechaun who lives under all the rings at the WWE, and in a storyline was shown to be technically Vince McMahon's son because of an accidental time he had in Ireland. That's real. That's real.
It's real.
There's a
It's a real
leprechaun that
story.
lives under the ring. He almost won the Royal Rumble one year.
I'll have you know that I've seen Hornswoggle wrestle in person in Chicago like multiple times.
No
Like
way.
twice.
Is
Swear
he
to God.
awesome?
He had a match with Cole Cabana. Are you familiar with Cole Cabana?
Mhm.
No way, yeah.
Yeah, they had a really, really fun one. Cole Cabana like went backstage and then came out in a leprechaun suit and to counter that. And then Hornswoggle did a lot of like ass biting. It was at Joe's on Weed Street, which is just like
Yes.
in the middle of the city. And
Oh, that was right north of my day job office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hornswoggle, he can still go. He can still wrestle.
That's awesome, dude. I like all they use him for in the WWE is just like bits and like silly like jokes. So I'd love to see him actually wrestle a bit. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's got comedic timing, which is good. But yes, insane definitely. So I'm gonna each award you a point there. Yeah, just as a little warm up. That was a little little starter. But okay, let's start with Ben on this one. You need to create your own match stipulation. So this is match and etc.
So mine is I love wrestling, of course, but I also love eating contests. So I want every 4 minutes a big bell alarms, like a real klaxon horn, really abrasive. And then the combatants have to both eat each a hot dog each and put it down fast. And then as soon as you finish your hot dog, you can go back to berating the opponent. So of course, like these matches are going to go long. Again, when watching WWE and stuff, I think that's one of my favorite things is there's so much stamina from these performers. They go for 50 minutes. So 50 minutes divided by 4. I can't do that math, but that's going to be a lot of hot dogs over the course of the match. And I think the results ultimately are going to be explosive. And I think that is so fun. I think that is the great equalizer. Because try blowing chunks in front of an arena full of 20,000. Just try it and try.
Even the winner's gonna lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the winners are losing.
Winners and losers are gonna lose. You can't. There's no way you're making it back up the ramp.
Vince really
before you
gave
have to
him
go.
a pay bump for that one. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna
in the Rubbermaid garbage can industry, it's gonna be bumping. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's mine. And I'm gonna call it a WWE hot dog.
I think Big
sucked. that was a good match, but Jesus, that name.
I think you're underestimating how cheap Vince is with the pay bump reference. But
God, that's funny.
a Big Show would probably do well in that match. Maybe Joey Chestnut. We would bring him in for a little celebrity appearance. But yeah, I think that could get over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, that was really well done.
Suck it, Justin.
Oh, you just wait, dude. My match is pretty good. All right, I'm gonna cheat. I did write 2 down. I'm gonna use them both. I don't care.
Okay.
Because I don't care about Ben, and it's all about winning right now.
Naturally.
So my first one, I love extreme matches so much because of like the craziness and the fact that you can just grab whatever you want from the entire arena and hit them with it. But I thought I'd put a twist on it. So this is a mini extreme match. Okay. Everything is just like a third of the size. That's it. Just because I feel like it'd be really funny to watch like a very small chair. Like, yeah, they have to take the bump and just watch them hit with like just a third, not like many like a Barbie size, like a third of the size chair. So it still could do damage, but it just is kind of uncomfortable
model
to grab with
size.
both
Like
hands.
a bathroom garbage can instead of an actual,
exactly.
like
A bathroom garbage can
Stop stool.
instead of like a full table, it's a coffee table. Instead of like we watched one where they hit him with a giant like vacuum, like a big like dust vac thing. It would just be like a kid's play toy vacuum cleaner that has the poppers on it.
Okay.
I think it'd be good. I think people would like it. I think it would be fun. And I think it would be really funny. I was thinking the Big Show to watch him hold a little chair. Oh, that's the main
Big
selling
Show,
point.
little chair. New
Yeah.
coming to TLC.
and then my other one was a pay-per-view, but I'm realizing now that it's more of a stipulation match. It's a ball and brawl. You just have to win the match, but then also you have to shoot a 3-point shot.
Well, hold on. Okay.
That's it.
Say if that's gonna be your pay-per-view idea, maybe save that one. And
Well, no, I have a better pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
I just realized that's more of it was called the Boston Ball and Brawl, and it was just a match stipulation. It sucked. It sucked, but I wanted to get it out there. I worked on it. I'm not proud that I worked hard on it.
Did you work on it? Really? Wow.
Shut the fuck up, dude. We're supposed to be teammates. No, we're not. All right, come on, though. The mini extreme match is fun. Think about the Big Show. He could even wear a little hat or something.
Nice, dude.
We really degrade him.
I want you, when you guys are going through all the pay-per-views, I want you to count how many times a just hardcore match is named differently. Because like that's something you'll see come up. It's like hardcore match, but then like this match is the same rules, and this one's a Chicago street fight. And then this one is like a false count anywhere. It's like that could also probably happen.
Exactly.
That's probably the same rules.
What's the old I quit? Yeah.
No holds barred.
No holds barred.
LC. It's crazy. Yeah. They all have the same rules. They have different names.
I'm gonna think it a little bit more outside the box. I'm gonna give it to Ben. The point to Ben.
You can do it. I know. I'll get the point back. I'll get the point back. I'm not worried. Like I'm honestly not worried. Because here's the thing. Okay. You know what? You know what, Ben? We're done.
Podcast's over.
I know we're doing press for it right now, but no. Oh God. Let's move on. I need another point. I'm dumb now.
All right. Let's start, Justin, with you. Name a pay-per-view and give it a theme.
All right, easy peasy. Popeyes Punch-In' Party. Totally normal pay-per-view, but very heavily branded with Popeyes chicken. I'm talking the ring mat is orange and red. I'm talking people's outfits are orange and red. I'm talking chicken eating contests. I'm talking special concession stands for Popeyes. I'm talking all of these Popeyes ideas. And I have one more joke, I think, somewhere in here.
Oh, Jesus.
It's got to be somewhere. Shut the fuck up.
Nice landing, dude.
Is that a comedy term when you can't finish the scene?
You can't land a joke.
Yeah. Can't land a joke.
Fuck yourself, my dog. I thought they could get, those things on cruise ships where you can surf in like a fake pool, like a pool, and you can surf on it.
Oh, where people always bite it.
Yeah. I thought they could have like the low tier wrestlers that aren't getting a lot of time do that, but instead of surfing, it's gravy and a biscuit.
Okay, all right. I think you might have just saved that. I think you saved it with that idea.
I'm just saying, and also huge branding for Popeye. I'm like, Vince is making money even if
dollars to be made.
Oh yeah. And I love it because they have a lot of. They just before they release a ton of people, they had a lot of people just sitting at home doing nothing, and that gives them something to do. You'd see, you hadn't seen Zack Ryder on TV for months, and then all of a sudden he's catching a wave on the gravy train. So.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get Rusev up there. We're gonna get all of them. It's gonna be great.
Cool. All right, that was good. I think that one came back around at the end. Ben, what do you think?
Nice.
Finally? You're pitting us against each other, man. We are not friends anymore. I think I'm officially not friends with Ben. What's your pay-per-view, you dick? Oh, God.
So, Ben, it's up to you. It's your turn.
Easy.
Okay.
Another easy one.
Sure, you look like you're
It's called
right now.
WWE Cleanup Crew.
Oh, it's not called WWE Hot Dog.
Shut up.
Sure.
Shut up. No, that's a different one. That's a one-off. So WWE Cleanup Crew. It's a weekly show. I'm looking around at a lot of these auditoriums, and I'm seeing a lot of trash being generated. I'm also looking at the comparative pay rates of both the janitorial crews and the superstars. And so what we do, we recompense this by having the superstars clean up the auditorium after the match. It's like an after hours match. And again, a large klaxon siren will sound when it is time for two of them to fight. It is very much akin to a battle royale game. You might have seen this in games like Fortnite, for example. This is where people rush to the center of the ring in order to compete. And so you'll get, whatever superstars you wish, who are doing their hardest to clean up the arena, who will have to drop their bags, rush to the center of the ring, and finish off a match within about 2 minutes or so. The struggle with this, but also the advantage with this, is that there will be no audience present during the time. However, for this fact, I think it is incredibly timely. This is the time we can do this in a way that will not inhibit both participation nor the sanitation of these arenas. In particular, my favorite arena that I've ever heard about, Dunkin' Donuts Arena, featured in the 2009 Backlash pay-per-view, the Dunkin' Donuts Arena.
Boo.
I had to look up what a klaxon siren was because you've used that twice now. I'm like,
It's my favorite sound.
What is that?
God.
I'm gonna.
Come on.
I think I'm gonna give this one to Justin.
Yeah.
bullshit.
Because
Fucking shit.
I think that inside dig that would hit wrestling fans is like there's a bunch of guys that have something to do that aren't doing anything and they have something to do. Like that is just, you say that's a wrestling fan and he'll pop. He'd be like, yeah, where the hell are these fucking people? They're all on the roster and
Come on,
never on TV.
Our truth riding a biscuit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. JTG gets up there too. He's not even with the program anymore. But he's Shelton Benjamin. We get them all.
The guy sucks.
Shut up. Shelton Benjamin.
So, old Sheldon Benjamin's really good. I wanted to, if you're talking about trash, Ben, you guys, I'm so excited for you because like there's so much to take in wrestling, but there's so much for you guys to discover as well. Just because my brain has already been turned to mush by the ridiculousness out there, but you guys like are still like uncovering new stuff and it's cool. And I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a diehard. There's still stuff all the time where like, oh, I forgot that happened and things like that. But the older WCW, like after pay-per-views, have you seen when like the fans would just throw trash into the ring for like the last 15 minutes of the show? Have you guys ever seen that?
No, that's incredible.
I mean, they ran in the South primarily, like after the Hulk Hogan, after the start of the NWO, I think they do that. That's something I'd recommend when the NWO started. And then I just remember went to some, because I was a 90s kid, I went to some growing up, and a bunch of old WCW pay-per-views, like the last, like the villain wins, and then he's taunting for like the last like 5 or 10 minutes of the show before they go off air. And everyone is just like cups, nachos, just filling the ring.
Oh my God.
It is insane. It's insanity. And like, you're just like, how were they allowed to do that? But yeah. So
man.
Justin, you get the point there, and we're tied going into the last one.
Boom, baby. Here's the
So-
issue, though. The last one, I don't have a joke for it. I think I just wrote a great fucking storyline. So this one isn't gonna be funny. This is really good.
Okay. Yeah. No. I think
Really good.
Chris and I will tell you that in-ring storytelling is our favorite part. So I think you still be able to wow me. Ben, we're gonna start with you first. So the question is, what is it? Oh, Chris added one, it looks like. Tell me your first one. Oh, okay. There's another one in here. Did that just get added? Must have missed that before. Okay. Let's do the programming announcement one.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see it. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Yeah.
So WWE announces that they have to go off the air. for good. There's no more WWE. We're winding it down.
No.
It's been a great run.
Sucks.
The road to WrestleMania always starts in January. It starts with the Royal Rumble. So you are in charge. You're on the creative team. You're in charge of booking the last champion to ever hold up the title and be hoisted as a victor on the last WrestleMania ever in the history of the WWE. So explain to me who that person is and what is that road lead, what's the storyline and road leading up to them winning the main event of WrestleMania?
Okay. So, my favorite wrestler who deserves the title is Rey Mysterio. And it starts off him waking up. I believe he's out of retirement now.
Yep.
Wakes up next to a loving wife, hopefully a good family, and steps out just to greet another normal day. And then, gosh be darn it, he steps on a skateboard and breaks not one, but two of his ankles.
Two of his ankles? Does he have
Rough
more
start.
than two ankles?
He's got two ankles, Justin. How many ankles do you have?
All right, well, you said two of his ankles, implying that he had more than two
Yeah,
ankles.
both of his ankles. That's what that means, idiot.
I'm trying to make you fail. I hope you know that's my whole goal here.
So I can heckle you? Okay, cool. I'm going to dunk on you during your story, idiot.
That's a rough start for Ray.
So Ray breaks both his ankles. And then he's like, oh, my ankles. And even his wife and kids can't hear him. And then he does a sweet kickflip to get back up to his feet on the board. And that's when he sees what's written on top of the board. It's Sting. He said, yes. Good luck, buddy.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it back to the ring. And so he knows, okay, time to shine. He crawls towards the Dunkin' Donuts arena. I believe it's in Minneapolis.
Again.
He crawls. Again. Yeah, he crawls by his arms across the nation. And when he arrives, Kane and The Undertaker take place of both of his ankles and do Reiki healing to them, both offering their benefits, thus enabling his legs to be strong again. And so he does, and Rey Mysterio flips like none other. He fucking goes from the top rope. He goes around the turnbuckle. He takes out every piece of furniture from underneath the ring, including basically it's a full living room at that point. You have a ladder, you have chairs, you have a bookcase, you have a long table. And oh man, he crushes. He does everything. And he is finally awarded the best man. Also, oh shoot, I should remember to mention this. He has worn 5 different wrestling masks to this match to give one to each little child in the audience who is also wearing a luchador mask. And so he gives one to each of the 4 first children, and then finishes and then finally exposes his face when he wins.
Okay, so it's Ray versus Sting then in the main event.
Essentially, yes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Ray with the help of Kane and the Undertaker doing Reiki healing to his.
That sucks.
His ankles.
When does the klaxon siren happen in that one?
I think as soon as the Reiki healing is complete, I think that's how Rey Mysterio knows that he is finally healed. Is when the klaxon siren sounds, and he finally feels healed. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I like it. Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna win right here. All right, let's
shut
get this done. Okay, so first off, I want to say real quick, Ben. Do you know what's going on with Rey Mysterio right now in the WWE?
No.
Dude, his son is freaking like saving. He got like his eye ripped out in a match, and his son is freaking backing him up. So his son is actually a wrestler.
Ray
now.
got his eye
It was
ripped out?
ironic. Your story was very ironic. Because Ray has been in multiple unmasking storylines too.
Yeah,
and we've seen his face
so many times.
So it's like you kind of think the same as a booker.
They put a few years in between, and Vince is like, no one knows, even though he's the most famous HOA ever. But no, dude, at Extreme Rules, he had his eye ripped out, and it was like cinematic. It was gorgeous. It looked terrible. And now his son is wrestling. But no, I'm gonna beat you real quick because you suck. Being real blunt here. Okay, this is literally what I scripted. Okay, this is easy. Fuck Ben. In my notes in my phone. So current stars are tossed to the wayside because nobody cares about him. There's no big star right now. We got Roman Reigns. He's sitting at home during the pandemic because he's a smart family man. So nobody cares about the current stars. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are having a kid. So nothing matters right now with them. Who is going to take – so my thought is we're on the road to WrestleMania, right? We probably have 3 pay-per-views, maybe 4 to get there before this is all over. That's what I'm thinking. Who is the current superstar that is there enough to hold on to the title until WrestleMania and be the person to either keep it or lose it? Triple H. Because he's, of course, Stephanie McMahon's lapdog.
Trash.
I know, he's garbage, but he's the biggest star who's always in the building. So Triple H gets it. On the way there, he has like little bouts with people who are too big for WWE now, like, or too old, like The Rock or Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair. People who could like be good for a match or are too busy doing Fast and the Furious, and they can't stick around for long. Now, SummerSlam happens or the Royal Rumble, whatever comes before WrestleMania. I think it's the Royal Rumble.
It's Royal Rumble, in January.
Yeah. And they set up the final feud going into WrestleMania. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Stone Cold in an intense fatal 4-way match to decide the final wrestling, like WWE heavyweight champion.
So boring.
Right? Dude, it's a bout. It is a bout. They go back to the old ways and give the women's championship like 7 minutes because this is a 45-minute bout in the game. And you ready for Shawn Michaels comes out of nowhere. Freaking 3 kicks to all of them. Knocks him out. A triple pin. He lies across all 3 of their now probably dead bodies. Holds it. He lays right across, pins all 3. He stands up, confetti's going. Vince McMahon comes out and gives him a whole wad of cash. And then right before it's over, you look down at the little timeline on WWE Network and it says 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the final WrestleMania. You're like, what? The last match is over. They've done the congratulations, the celebratory things. Why is there 2 minutes and 20 seconds left? John Cena rises from the confetti out of nowhere. Everyone thinks he's out filming a movie. Everyone thinks he's out there doing Baywatch 2 with Zac Efron. Nope. He comes right out of there. Guess what he
only
does?
said it because he saw Baywatch 1.
Shawn Michaels turns around. Oh, no, it's John Cena. John Cena flicks him in the forehead. Shawn Michaels burst into dust. He puts the money out of Shawn Michaels' pockets.
He just Thanos people in real life, dude.
He grabs the WrestleMania thing, and then John Cena cuts it in half. And Vince McMahon shakes his hand because nothing bad can ever happen to John Cena. And that is the perfect ending to the WWE. Mic drop. Dude, you had Rey Mysterio getting unmasked as the final thing in the WWE, which just happened and has happened 6 other times.
That was an act of pride. You neglect to mention the Reiki healing between Kane and The Undertaker.
That sounds like some dumb shit the Boogeyman would do in a storyline.
Yeah, cool. We're not talking about the Boogeyman, idiot.
All right, but I'm...
All right.
Okay,
all right.
If I don't win this, I'm going to be real mad.
Okay, so I do have a winner. I think that Justin told the story very well. I think that we didn't put a time frame on when this would happen. Like, I think Justin booked an amazing main event that would probably be really cool in like 1998.
Outdated,
what?
idiot.
Triple H.
The Undertaker cannot go 45 minutes right now, my friend. I don't know if you've seen his last.
If it was the last WWE match ever, he wants to do a fatal 4-way. He could spend 10 minutes laying outside the ring. Triple H is in his prime. Shawn Michaels just kicks. Shawn Michaels just kicks.
Fighting with the ref, idiot.
So everyone did really good. This is not your fault, Justin, because you gave it 110%. It's not your fault, but I think Ben might have done his homework, or he probably just got lucky. But my favorite wrestler of all time is Sting. And when Sting is in the main event of WrestleMania, I have to go with that.
Oh, everybody!
So easy.
Sting is like 100. Sting is just as old as The Undertaker.
I don't care. I'm a Sting mark.
Are you kidding me?
I'm a Sting mark.
Dude, the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio custody battle match is a better storyline than what Ben just sold. That's both. I'm rioting, and I'm suing both of your podcasts, and one of them is mine. I don't care. I'm done.
Burn every bridge.
I took 7 minutes to write that in my notes.
Nice work. It was all for nothing.
Fuck
It's-
you, my God.
It was for the
Oh,
press. It was for the press.
That sucks.
Okay, as a bonus, here, I'll make it up to you, Justin. So if you can tell me, this is just for you, if
Yeah.
you can tell me your favorite finishing maneuver and why, then, and I think it's a great answer, then we'll bring the tie into the trivia round.
Easy. Santino Marella, the Cobra. All he
Okay.
does is put his arm up like an L and then jab people in the neck, and they go down flat. It's
All right.
the best finisher in the that or the lie detector is, I think, what it's called. It's the R-Truth one, where he jumps into the air and corkscrews and hits someone in the face, and 95% of the time he does not make contact. It's one of the, it's awesome looking, but either the person falls early or he is off the mark, because almost always he never hits it, and it is hilarious.
Okay, we're gonna go into overtime then, tied at 3. I think that was an
Wait, I got a point for that?
acceptable answer. Yeah.
Boom. Take that, Ben. I improvised that answer, baby.
Break into your apartment.
We're gonna go into the
Breaking them.
into the trivia rounds. So this is the dessert. So that was a hot plate. How did you guys enjoy that? You having fun?
It was an up and down. It was an up and down roller coaster.
Enjoyed everything except for Justin.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still pissed because I think I booked the best storyline in the history of the WWE, and I would like all of your fans to get in the comments. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where, but I want them all to. I want them all to get really
Don't
mad.
try
with me.
and get back up.
I liked the rises from the confetti part, because I'm just picturing that, like the confetti forming into like, and then like forming his like
Yeah.
his exoskeleton.
For sure. He's wearing his denim jeans. He's his little denim jorts. He's doing the whole John Cena thing, and he's making the money he deserves because he's John freaking Cena.
All right, who wants to go first for trivia in the dessert section?
Not a coward.
Me? No, I want to. I'm not a coward either.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure I'm gonna get all these right.
Okay, we're gonna do. Let me put. Can I edit this document? I can't. Okay, so we're gonna do this current scoreboard, which is tied at 3. We're gonna do wrestler's real name or shoot name.
Oh no.
How do you guys feel about that category?
Oh no.
Oh,
Immediately.
pretty strong.
Immediately.
Strong.
nervous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Idiot.
All right. This one is
Ben can
for
go first.
is for Ben.
Yeah, Ben can go first.
What is Chris Jericho's shoot name? Without looking.
Jess Jericho.
Okay. Let's do. That's wrong. Let's do Justin.
Wait,
Sean.
wait.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I know Chris Jericho's actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can steal. What is it?
Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, no way.
Yeah,
You
dude.
can't steal.
It's Christopher Irvine, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, baby.
Ooh, I can Wikipedia.
No,
That's
dude,
literally
wait,
what you
wait,
sound
wait,
like.
wait.
Literally
You
what
wanna
you
know-
sound like right
no,
now.
Literally. You know how I know that? Is because his band went to North Dakota to do a concert the other day, just so they didn't have to make people wear masks and stuff like that.
What
It
is
was-
his band?
Fozzy.
Ozzy.
They're a hard rock band, but he was in the
Hell
news
yeah.
everywhere because he like they went out of their way to do a concert in North Dakota so they didn't have to wear masks or something like that. But
Smash Mouth
everyone-
did the same thing. I think it might have been at the same North Dakota concert. It was like some big bike conference.
Yeah,
Like
it
the
was
Sturgis
yeah,
bike
yeah,
rally. Yes,
yeah.
Smash Mouth was there too.
Yeah, or maybe they had to wear masks and everyone took them off. I don't know, but I just read an article about it and I saw Chris Irvine and I was like, "Who's that?" And then it said Chris Jericho, and I was like, "This is gonna come in handy on the podcast."
Yeah, and it did, and you got the steal. The question is to you, Justin. What is Shawn Michaels' shoot name?
Shawn Michaels' shoot name? Shawn Michaels' shoot name. Oh, Shawn Michaels' like shoot name. Okay, yeah, no, of course. Derek Quinn.
Derek Quinn. No.
Derek Quinn the second. Derek Quinn the second.
Can you steal, Ben?
Go for it. I dare you to steal it.
Mon Shikels.
It's actually Michael Hickenbottom.
Oh,
sucks.
so close.
That's
Dang it.
That's
Very
a bad
close.
name.
Very close.
Such a
Okay.
cool guy, too.
Okay, Ben. Hulk Hogan's shoot name.
Oh, no. I actually know this one.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
No,
I do.
you don't.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
no way. There's absolutely no way you know Hulk Hogan's real name.
I can't even make a joke out of it either with like the whole first letter being the same either. This sucks.
I know his first name. His,
What is it?
I'm not gonna say it right now because I'm gonna try to steal it from you because then I won't have to guess his last name.
Boy. Harley Davidson Hogan.
All right, Justin, for half a point. First name, Hulk Hogan's first
His
name.
first name's Terry, right?
Terry.
Yeah, it's Terry
You
Hogan.
suck.
That's his name.
It's not, but I'll give you a half a point.
Damn it. Dude, I watch WrestleMania almost like every day. It's like a daily YouTube thing that like puts out news, and they recently talked about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm getting lucky today.
Justin, do you think about how I got better rated in the funny category? How
we
is
were
the
3-3.
funnier person?
He gave me a pity point at the end. He gave me a pity point. Also, you only got that last point because he likes Sting. I sold the better story. If we put our two stories next to each other, more people would buy my tickets to WrestleMania than yours. You dumb butthole.
Yeah, if you had Reiki healing in it, maybe. Idiot and klaxon horns.
I've never hated you more than I hate
I'm
you.
getting a bike to your place and break into it tonight.
We will let the
Don't
Twitter
worry.
sphere decide. We will let the Twitter sphere decide.
Stop saying you're gonna break into my apartment. What a
Got keys now too. I took care of your fish. Now I can take care of you.
Dude, what an absolute insane thing to say. An absolute insane insult to say. I'm gonna break in. Oh, you know what? You're making me mad? I'm gonna break into your apartment. That's crazy.
And do nothing. Just break in.
And do nothing. You break in and then grab a sandwich and head out.
Yeah. Nice
All right.
little
All right, Justin.
Yeah.
What is John Cena's shoot name?
No way. That's not his real name. Oh shit.
I didn't say that. What's his shoot name?
I'm gonna say John Cena.
John Cena's correct.
Oh!
son of it. Kidding me. It's not
Oh,
Seeing
baby.
Gina? Because look it. He wears jeans every time. It should be Sion Gina.
Come on!
Kidding me.
Have you seen Amy Schumer's Trainwreck? Because I have. He has a sex scene in it, and I watched the credits. Dude, I'm having a great day today. I'm beating you right now 5.5-3.
5.5-3.
Whatever.
God, Ben, you
We're gonna
suck.
break
All
into
right,
your apartment.
I'm going to give you a question from the category most championship reigns.
Oh, I
Okay.
have this too.
Oh, Jesus.
So, who has held the WCW/WWE Cruiserweight Championship the most with 8 reigns?
Oh, boy. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Final answer.
He's a cruiserweight, you dummy.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer. Shut up, Justin.
You're so stupid.
Justin, can you steal?
I don't know it, but I'm gonna make a better guess than he
Oh, I
did.
shit on my friend when I don't even know the answer.
You keep saying you're gonna break into my apartment. I'm gonna go with We're saying WCW.
It's the WCW/WWE
'Cause
Cruiserweight Championship.
The Cruiserweight Championship hasn't been around for a while, so it's someone from maybe like they retired or maybe they're gone in like the mid 2000s.
Oh no! So it started in WCW in the 90s, and then so it's not the one you're thinking of, like the 205 Live one.
Yeah.
It's not that one
Wait,
with
so
the purple strap.
Did it turn into something else, like the Intercontinental Championship or something like that?
I don't think so, but I don't think WWE. I think the WWE might have retired it and then brought it back. But the reigns are like in the annals of time, the reigns count. This person held it in both promotions. So this person held it in WCW. That's a hint, and then also held it in WWE or WWF.
It's not a hint for me. 'Cause I
Justin,
don't
admit,
know
yeah,
anything.
you don't know it. None of this helps.
I'm gonna go for Eddie Guerrero.
Okay, it was very close. It was Rey Mysterio Jr.
Oh,
No
my
way.
man!
Dude, no freaking way. I was this close to saying Rey Mysterio.
Oh, I
Literally
bet
so
you
close.
were.
Dude, I said Eddie Guerrero. You said Stone Cold Steve Austin because you're running out of wrestlers you know.
Yeah, because he can drink beers in like a freaking 15 seconds. It's the coolest thing ever. Of course he deserves to be champion.
He's
Idiot.
the first champion. You're falling apart. You're falling apart. No wonder I'm winning.
Shut up.
Okay.
You're off our podcast.
Okay, Justin figuratively has raised his hand, and he's going to try to put a dagger in this one, Ben, with a question.
Oh, no.
And we talked about where the boogeyman was billed from.
Yeah.
Justin, do you know where the Undertaker is billed from?
The depths of hell.
He is not. Ben, can you steal?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, no. Also the depths of hell. He's billed from Death Valley.
Son of a.
He's from Clemson. He's from the University of Clemson. That's crazy. I had no idea Mark Calloway went to Clemson. That's his shoot name. Do I get a point?
Shut up.
No, you did not.
That's fair.
Yeah, that was a good one, though. I could maybe round your 5.5 up to 6, but I'll think about it.
Yeah, let me know.
All right, Justin, I'm gonna give you one. You got to save here with an answer, otherwise Ben, I'm gonna give you one. You got to save here with an answer, otherwise I think Justin's gonna take it home with a 5.5 to 3 because
Okay.
our listeners are probably like, man, these guys keep missing the trivia.
They suck.
You guys did give the expectation though, and you are a great storyteller, so it's okay.
I've gotten 2.5. I've gotten 2.5 points. That's really impressive.
Yeah, but I was still the funnier one in the first section, so that's.
We
You're
tied.
telling.
I got a pity point at the end. We tied.
Before this is for you, so I'm okay, Ben. Sorry, I'm learning your names. I know them. Before the Miz wrestled, he was known for being on an MTV reality show. What was the name of that show?
Oh,
I
man.
know this too.
Well, I bet you do. Yeah, you spend so much time watching reality TV. I
I
hate
do.
this shit.
I know this one. I absolutely know this one.
Next. MTV's Next. The best show ever made for television.
Great show. Great
No,
show.
How did you not get this one? This one's easy, dude.
How did
All right, Justin.
Are you
what
ready
is
for
it?
this? Even if I didn't know it, let me tell you how I could have broke it down without even knowing the answer.
Right.
The Miz has been around since, like, we're starting in 2010. He's relatively newish in, like, I think he must have started around maybe like 2008 at the earliest, probably. So what's the biggest MTV reality show in the early to mid 2000s? The Real World, you dumb idiot.
Okay, cool. I've never seen an episode.
And for the
Cool.
win,
You watch more Real World than I did. What a flex.
and for the win, Justin Borak. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, it is.
Gets the win.
Just an idiot. Son of
Don't bring into my apartment.
I'm gonna smash a window at least.
I only
I
have
can
2
throw
windows.
up 5 stories. I can throw 5 stories up easy.
Don't tell people that I live in. Don't start giving away.
Justin
stuff.
lives at 503.
You dox me.
Yeah.
And you played valiantly, and I threw you guys into the ringer. So I just wanted to thank you guys for both being good sports, and stepping in the world that you're just becoming familiar with. So there's still so much to be uncovered. That's why I'm like slightly jealous of all of you. You just like you get to experience so much ludicrous things for the first time, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys say about them all on your podcast. So let's segue into that because we wrapped up the dessert.
Yeah.
So plugs and anything like that, go
Yeah.
ahead. Say it
Yeah,
all.
so our show, if you've listened this far of us just being real goofy, then you might like our show. It's called Wrestling History 101. We break down every pay-per-view starting in 2010 for the WWE. Yeah, it's on Spotify, Apple. It's up everywhere already with the trailers. You can go hit subscribe.
Okay.
And it'll come to you. We're a part of a podcast network that I'm developing called The Social. And we're dropping all of our shows for The Social at the end of September. So episodes will start coming out weekly at the end of September. Yeah, and we have an Instagram, right?
Yeah, Wrestling History 101 podcast.
Long ass
Right.
title. Baby.
Yeah, real long. There's a lot of wrestling histories out there already. You blew it.
But yeah, check us out. And I mean, I'm sure we already talked about it. I'm sure we're gonna have you guys on it and force you guys and your indie love to watch a freaking mainstream pay-per-view with us.
Yeah. I'm gonna be really smarky on that episode. It's like
Good.
I can't wait.
I'm real snobby and like, you guys have I can't believe you've never heard of this. And
Need
yeah,
that.
so be
That's
prepared for
what
that
that's
energy.
for. Absolutely. When we have people on, we want them to rip on us. It's mainly a roast and just how little
Yeah.
we know.
Otherwise, it's just Justin versus me. He is not a noble opponent.
If you thought we were competitive on this podcast, we just yell at each other.
Hey, that's what makes a team better, right? I mean,
Exactly.
Just pure hatred.
yeah, just trying to outdo each other and things like that. So no, I'm looking forward to it. If we ever do it, I hope I like the task of watching something random and then just like you're just like, oh, like your childhood just floods back because that era, I'm pretty sure that era. So I want to say that like my wrestling experience was like 94 to 2002 watching growing up. And then 2002, I hit a lull. Then I like started going to high school and like wrestling wasn't cool. And then I was still in college and like wrestling wasn't cool in my circles. And then after I graduated, I was just like, wrestling's fucking cool. Like, what was I doing all these years? And like, and honestly, who got me back into it was Sting. Sting came back to do that quicker run, and then yeah, he had his WrestleMania match where everyone's like, okay, he's balding and really old, but he's still my favorite. I've dressed up for him as in Halloween before and made an ass of myself. So
he comes back to the WWE in 2015. The only reason why against like Seth
Yeah.
Rollins and stuff. The only reason
right,
why
that's
know
when I
that
got
is-
back into it.
Yeah, that's the short. I watched like 15 episodes in that realm. And then we decided to do this podcast, so I stopped and I went back to 2010. So I like watched the Seth Rollins Sting feud, and then I just left it alone. And we're gonna get back there at this rate, doing a pay-per-view a week starting in 2010 in like 6 years. So
Cool.
I'm excited to
Be
get
old
back
then
there.
by the time.
Yeah. That night he wrestled Rollins, I legitimately convinced myself that they'd maybe put the strap on him for like a day. I was like, okay, Sting's gonna be WWF champion. Like I convinced I went back to being a sixth grader for that night.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I love about wrestling. So, yeah, you guys have I think you're gonna get unplugged and you've said all that stuff, and we'll be sure to check it out and get on Twitter. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter. Get on Twitter. We'll retweet the heck out of you because that's where we are mostly.
Hell yeah.
And
Yeah.
try to introduce you to our fan base. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys. I think it's been a
for sure.
Having
blast.
fun,
Thank you for
man.
having
Yeah,
us.
it was a blast.
Yeah,
Cool.
and hopefully we'll go to like one of these indie wrestling things coming up soon. I'm so
someday
pumped.
soon, baby.
Yeah, definitely. For you, the listeners, you can find all of our stuff. I'm just going to do a quick outro. Find all of our stuff at twoheelsondaface.com. All our podcast episodes, that's the number 2heelsondaface.com. And you'll find links to social media there. You're probably listening to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, I think. Other than that, hashtag BeatUpGPA. And yes, we'll hopefully see both of you and all of you listeners at a freelance wrestling show upcoming. Until then, take care.